Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Please welcome to the Social show winner of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, opera singer, comedian, and award-winning podcast host, Monet X
Thank you. And don't forget, Baker.
Oh, Baker.
Kinda. I baked a cookie before, yeah. I'll cook
Well,
you.
we welcome you, the multi-hyphenate. We're so excited to have you
Thank you for
here.
having me. I'm so excited.
Well, why don't we dive in with this first story? Because Reese Witherspoon, she's many things also. She's actress, producer, business owner, but she is not a lawyer. And yet, the actress shared on the Graham Norton show recently that she was actually made Foreman on jury duty because everyone assumed she must have gone to law school after Legally Blonde.
People.
Obviously, okay? So have you ever made assumptions about someone based on the jobs or the roles, in that case, that they have ever had? Has this ever happened? Does this make sense?
I mean, for me, absolutely. After I saw Angelina Jolie in Salt, and I saw her in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm like, oh, she's an enchantress of espionage. Like, there's no way Angelina Jolie is not secretly thwarting government plans and tearing down societies around the world. That's where Angelina Jolie lives rent-free in my mind.
I think a lot about that for actors who take on notoriously villainous kind of roles and murderous roles.
Yes.
So true.
Because it must be so hard to shake off that impression.
Oh, totally.
I know a long time ago I worked on this nerdy show and I met a lot of like horror icons, one of whom was Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. Oh. And I'm telling you, the whole time there he is.
My God.
I was slightly terrified.
choking you?
Kind of slightly choking me. But I was terrified. It's hard to shake that off.
Looking at that
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I consider myself a pretty rational person who can tell the difference between an actor who's playing a role and a real person. But there is one actor. His name is Richard T. Jones. He was in the 2007 movie, Why Did I Get Married? Tyler Perry's movie.
Oh, yes.
And there is a scene where he tells his wife to get off the flight and drive to the couples trip in a snowstorm.
Yes.
And I never forgot him for that role.
Never.
Jill Scott plays his girlfriend, and I'm telling you, if you watch that movie, I know he's gone on to do a million other things, but for me, he will always be Mike, who made his wife get off the
Yes.
flight. I know better.
I went to a Netflix Christmas party 2 years ago, and he was there. When I tell you, I side-eyed him the entire night. I was like, yes.
You know, I think these are all really funny examples, and I totally get it. But what about when someone looks at someone and thinks, oh, wow, because he ran a show called The Apprentice, he could be the United States president?
Girl.
And not only that, I think that we are watching a reality show or maybe a horror show. It depends which way you come at it. Because if you take a look at what Donald Trump is doing and who he's putting into his cabinet, there are reality show stars on there.
Yep.
There is the former president and CEO of the World Wrestling Entertainment Federation there with Linda McMahon. So if you look at everybody, I mean, I think we're watching a reality show, and guess what? None of them are qualified.
None of them. We are fully watching the American Horror Story in IRL. We are seeing it unfold.
Here's my question. When are they going to get voted off the island?
Yes,
When can I tune into that?
Let's get that started.
Just waiting.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, moving on, because someone wrote to The Skim saying, quote, an acquaintance asked to join my mom group chat. I don't want to exclude her, but I don't feel comfortable since it's a tight-knit circle. So, what advice would you give here?
You're the guest, so you go first.
I mean, listen, I am not delusional. I know that there is a multiverse there of several group chats that I am not a part of, and I have done this to other people. So I have a very famous drag queen friend named Bob the Drag Queen. And since moving to LA, you know, there was a group chat with him, myself, Kimchi, Naomi Smalls, and Plastique. And we were all like talking, blah, blah, blah. But you know, Bob would be out of town and we wanted to get dinner together and it was too much kerfuffle, so we started a separate group chat without Bob.
Side chat.
Because he would get upset if we would invite him. So now, I don't think he knows about this, so hi,
He
Bob.
does now.
He does now, honey.
We have the group chat, just so we don't want to labor him. We don't want to fill up his inbox with messages that he can't come.
Oh, can I just ask what other group chats with other drag queens you have?
Ooh, so I have one with Violet Chachki, Gottmik, and Roxy Andrews.
Oh, nice.
That one is the shady chat. Oh yeah, that one gets real shady and real. We can't say that on daytime television.
Okay.
And I have one with RuPaul, Michelle, and Ross.
Oh, you're in a group chat with RuPaul.
I'm kidding. RuPaul would never give me his number. Never. There's probably a restraining order, actually.
Okay, that makes more sense. That makes a little bit more sense. That's awesome.
I'm glad that you admitted, because we all know that there is like the core chats and then there's all the side chats. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think you can take offense to it as well. But although, can we talk about this friend? Who are you that you asked to be put into a chat?
Wait a minute. I feel like I have questions, though. Okay,
Yes.
that's one angle, but I think we're going to give the benefit of the doubt. How does this conversation happen, okay? So mom one and mom two. So mom one maybe says something like, oh, I'm having a lot of trouble with little Johnny. I don't know what to do. Mom two says, oh, whenever I have problems with little Janie, we go on the group chat. And mom one says, well, can I join that group chat? And then there's awkward silence.
Yeah.
What is the problem here is that mom two never should have mentioned that she had a group chat unless she was going to invite her in.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that it happened that way. I love that theory.
What about being honest? I belong to one group chat. First of all, let me just say this. I feel like group chats are the adult version of high school cliques.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Totally.
You think about it, common interest is always a leader, and then there's like a popularity thing. And in high school, I always hated those cliques, but I have to admit, I do belong to a group chat. And we get asked all the time if we can join. And it's my Scorpio sisters. I think we have a photo of them. And we don't mess around. We're not making a subgroup. We will tell you, listen, thank you so much for your application. We're going to keep you on file. But right now, we are not taking any new applicants, but we will keep you in mind. We're just very straightforward. We're not making a fake group, so you're not in that group.
Okay.
We're straightforward with
I love that. But so maybe to answer this question, maybe you bring her in, or you keep the core one and you start a new one that brings in this mom.
That's what I
And
like.
then you can make everybody happy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a lot of work.
You have to like
know?
assimilate her into society. Then you
Yes.
can make a judgment. Okay, do we invite her to the real group chat? Be like, hey girl, welcome.
But then how's she gonna feel when she finds out when she's invited to the real group chat that she wasn't originally in the real group chat? That's a problem.
It's like Fight Club, right? What stays in Fight Club
happens in Fight Club.
stays in Fight Club.
Leave it at that.
I agree with you,
Ask
Cynthia.
more questions. It's just an honor to be invited.
2025 be the year of the uncancellation. A writer for theconsequence.net argues that it's shaping up to be the year of the comeback for public figures once called out for past bad behaviors. Just take a look at U.S. President Donald Trump, for instance. So what do we think about the uncancellation, folks? How do you guys feel about it?
You know what?
Right?
I don't know if it's the era of the rise of the canceled, or we're in an uncancellation era. Is it possible that the people who were doing the canceling maybe were just tired? And I want to give you an example. If you remember back January 2017, it was the day after Trump's first inauguration in Washington. Do you remember this scene where there was, I don't know, 500,000, 1 million women?
Yeah.
There was a special word for this march. I can't say it on daytime TV, where those very special hats, because women and others were ticked.
Yeah.
They were exhausted. They were not exhausted at that point. We were just really upset that potentially our reproductive rights were going to get taken away. Fast forward, Roe v. Wade gets overturned. Now Trump is in office. It looks like Project 2025 is full throttle forward, maybe a full federal ban on reproductive rights.
Yeah.
So is it that we are not canceling anymore, or we are so tired of the fight that we need a minute to catch our breath? So I just don't, people are still behaving badly, but the fight has just put us on our heels for a minute, but look out, because we're coming back.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I think that men have just done, their cancellations are so egregious, right? We are canceling men all the time, and women, but it seems like there's so much misogyny in it, because women have to, they pay the price more when they step in something or do something a little evil, and men can just go on a podcast and say, I'm sorry, and everyone just moves on, and women have to go on apology tours, they have to write a book, they have to do all these things just to, you know what I mean? And I think that everyone watching the show, everyone in this room, we've all been guilty of saying something that was maybe not, that we should not have said, and we misspoke, but I think it's how you recover from it, how you atone, and how you move on, and how the rest of society will take you back.
Good point.
Interesting point. You know what's so funny? The uncancellation, actually, I saw this in an interesting way, where I feel like every once in a while, the pendulum swings from one side to the next. And hear me out. So for many years, like the police in the United States, for example, were well known for doing horrible things to Black and brown men. And then all of a sudden, George Floyd happened. That's the event. And then the pendulum swung, and all of a sudden, there was police reforms, there was DEI initiatives. It completely changed the culture, right? You think about Me Too. For a very long time, men in power were very well known and very comfortable abusing that power and sexually assaulting women. Me Too happens, that pendulum swings all the way here. And I feel like Donald Trump being back in the White House and being the person that he is representing a lot of white men, that's what the uncancellation for me. I'm like, here's another event where it's like we're seeing that pendulum swing right back, and it's like now the men are feeling more emboldened to say and do whatever they want. That's how I'm seeing it. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm like, you just see them back and forth.
I mean, it's just such a complicated topic because when we're talking about cancellation, there are so many different examples of it. Are we talking about the Harvey Weinstein cancellation, where that was an entirely justified criminal activity taking place, like let's cancel that guy and people like that guy, versus I think tinier infractions that I think we were seeing all over the place, where someone would make a mistake and then they would feel like their entire career was rerouted in the span of hours or canceled entirely. And I think maybe what people are responding to in part is that for a long time, the left was seen as the sort of group that held the ideology of you can think whatever, you can have difference, you can have diversity of thought, diversity of identity, diversity of everything. And then for a little while, by some lenses, it felt like they were those same people often were critiquing anybody who had a difference of ideas that wasn't exactly aligned with exactly their thinking. And that, I think, was a little disappointing and frustrating, but I don't want to lose sight of the fact that the truth is, to go back to all of your points, is that the same people right now, while the left was kind of splitting the left and arguing and fighting and maybe canceling the wrong people, the right, and a lot of men, straight white men, continue to be able to uphold power. And so we have to, I think, take some time, rest, recalibrate, and come back to maybe there's an opportunity to learn and to, again, get into, I'm sorry, in my ear, our director is asking me to pivot on to the next topic, but it's a hard pivot to do. Anyway, we're gonna recalibrate, and we're gonna rest, and we're gonna start talking about Pageboy.
Well done. Well done.
Okay. Did that work? I don't know. Okay, so Robert Pattinson stepped out for Paris Fashion Week wearing this blue velvet Pageboy hat and shawl jacket. What do we think of the page? Will this replace that pussy hat? The what hat? Pussycat hat.
Oh, I did not hear that. I'm sorry. I heard something else, Cynthia. I heard what? What kind of hat is that? I'm sorry.
Well, you know, Robert Pattinson, the problem with these Pageboy hats is that if you are hot, you will look hot in a hat, right? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Like, you know, and you're like, I don't think if I put that hat on, y'all all be like, girl, take it off, honey. No. But Robert Pattinson, although he always kind of looks like he's on the precipice of a fart, like Robert Pattinson. He always looks like he's about to just let it go. I'm like, girl, just let go, let God.
A silent deadly one.
Yeah, really. He's a.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's one coming.
Something like if you are attractive, you will make a hat look hot.
I just want to say, if the Pageboy hat is coming back, there is a way to wear it. I don't know that I would wear it that way, although you're right. I mean, can he do no wrong? I guess so. But you know who my style maven is, right? Like, you know who I'm going to say. She pulled this exact same look this weekend.
Oh, did she?
And she killed it. She absolutely killed this look. So if that hat is coming back and the shawl, scarf is coming back, that's how I want to see it.
You know what? And you make a good point. We're talking about it later on with Erica Worth. There's a difference between wearing something and styling something.
Correct.
Yes.
Roberts just has a hat on his head.
Yeah.
J-Lo is styled
She
in
is
a nice
styled.
bubble.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I can't see Robert Pattinson without imagining him with vampire teeth. Like, I think that those are to go back to the original topic that we started with, I'm always going to see him as a vampire.
I mean, listen, he could use a little tan. I mean, that could help.
He could. That would
You think a tan is all he needs?
That's maybe.
The shade is severe in here. Yes.
Just say it.
I love it.
Speaking of shade, or not, perhaps, Monet, we love having you here. We always love to keep up with the fact that you are always doing so many amazing and fun projects. And you have one. I mean, there's several going on. So first of all, you have a new podcast out called Monet Talks.
Yes.
And you feature candid interviews, dazzling array of guests. You're also closing out the North American tour of your critically acclaimed one-woman show called Life Be Lifin'.
Yes.
And it's
That's fact.
closing out
Sure do.
right here in Toronto tonight at the Jane Millette Theatre.
Yes. You know, this show, it was such a fun experience. Ben de la Creme directed this show, and it's just a romp through some stories about me growing up and through Drag Race, and it's an intimate show that people don't expect that they're gonna laugh a lot, but you also cry a little bit when you come see this show. And I think people are not expecting that in the show. You're just thinking it's always gonna be drag queens, shawam, 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 split. And it's like, no, like drag queens, we are four-dimensional creatures. Like it's almost like we're human beings, you know? Almost.
Wow.
So like I just talk through all that stuff, and I do it through the guise of comedy, storytelling, and music. And it's
We
great.
love that. Are you able to catch up with our girl Brooklyn Heights while you're here?
No, because I think Brooklyn is in Chicago now. Yeah, I hit her. I got here. I was like, "Girl, I'm in your city." She's like, "Girl, I'm not in Toronto right now." So I'm sad I won't see Brooklyn. But you know, I've never been to Toronto in the winter.
And how do you like it?
It's a little cold, y'all. I have to put my pasties on so y'all see what's going on over here. But I love Toronto. I just love the vibe of the city, and the boys are so cute. Yeah, they are.
Well, Monet, you are cute, you are gorgeous, you are funny, you are smart, you are all of it, and we love having you here. Come back.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, listen up. Tickets are available at MonetXchange.com. It is on the screen right now. Make sure you grab those last tickets. Snatch them. Snatch those tickets up right now.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.